Alright, I'm Retro Red.
I'm Retro Black.
And we're the Retro Rangers.
And we're going to do something a little different for us this year, simply because it was a big year.
It was a good year.
So this is our E3 impressions. And some of our opinions are going to differ a little bit, but... Alright. So...
We'll start out with the first really big news that got mentioned. Or one of the first ones up was Bethesda.
Who we already knew about Fallout 4, but then they showed us...
gameplay.
They showed us gameplay, although they showed us very diced up gameplay.
However, the entire time he was talking about it, I had the biggest, hardest, throbbing erections I could possibly imagine. And I want that game. And the Pit Boy, the fucking Pit Boy, he's like, I still love when he's like, it's a second screen experiences and that's gimmicky, but this is the most fucking awesome gimmicky experience ever. And I'm like, and then they were like, ooh, Fallout Shelter tonight. However, it should have been on Android as well, which they're making that. They've already said
but by the time it hits Android, nobody's even playing it anymore.
I will. I'm just lucky I know someone has an iPhone that lets me steal it.
Fallout 4 was huge, and there was about 6 of us at work that were, waiting on that trailer. Like 5 minutes till 10, we all came back there and were staring at my phone because it was hooked up to a radio so we could hear it. It's like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And then of course it went live on YouTube before it ever hit the freaking webpage because the webpage crashed.
Because everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, but that trailer was. I'm looking forward to it. I liked Fallout 3 a lot. It had some issues, but it's a Bethesda game. Every Bethesda game has issues.
Yeah, and they said it's an updated version of the creation engine, which is what Skyrim was made in. So,
yeah,
we will see. That also...
As long as there's a lot more than just the presets from Skyrim, we're good.
Well, what presets?
A lot of Skyrim was all presets.
Well, my big concern, as long as we don't have a backwards flying vertibird. Think about that. Yeah, I went there. But yeah, sweet Jesus, my body was ready the entire time.
What else did they talk about?
They talked about...
they talked about the Elder Scrolls Online, didn't they?
Yeah, they did mention that. And they also, they're doing a card game for it, too. I know. That, and then they... not Unstoppable, the steampunk game.
There's a bunch of those coming out, apparently.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. Dishonored.
Oh, yeah, the new Dishonored, yeah. Which,
I didn't play the first one, so no.
The first one's really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's very open world, thiefy, but...
Right.
It's a really good idea that I'm surprised hasn't been done before.
Right. And then, the next day, there was...
Microsoft.
Who
mostly was trailers.
It mostly was...
And mostly CG trailers.
There was actual gameplay footage of a Gears of War 4. Now, I don't understand why there's a Gears of War 4. It didn't look horrible, but I don't understand why there's a Gears of War 4.
Because the first 3 were profitable.
I meant storyline-wise.
Yeah, oh, I know.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can look at the Halo franchise and goes, why is there a Halo 4?
I'm not disagreeing.
3 ended it.
3 ended it, I know. I mean, ODST made sense, and I can give Reach because Reach was a prequel, but 4...
Yeah.
However, the stuff I see on 5, I do like their marketing campaign with the whole Hunt the Truth thing. I've listened to a decent amount of those, and it really drew me in, so...
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what they do with this new mode they keep talking about, but a lot of the details coming out is like, oh... Some people have been yelling that it's a game changer, and then I keep reading these details, and I'm going, so it's League of Legends Halo Edition.
Yeah, their war mode or whatever it is. We'll see. We'll see.
And then they showed more Fallout stuff at the E3
I don't know if they did or not.
I heard they showed more Fallout at the Microsoft thing, because that was where they announced that Fallout 4 for the Xbox One comes with a version of 3, which, why you would do that, I don't know.
Comes with a version of Fallout 3?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I do, but you can get Fallout 3 for nothing.
Yeah.
And
it'll probably be on the backwards compatibility list, which is goes to our next thing.
Their big announcement was backwards compatibility, although the more I find out about this, the sketchier it sounds.
Granted, but
it's a good move. It is a very good move.
It should have been from day one.
Microsoft has needed this. However, it is patched in. It is not hardware, which means it's emulation, and it's not solid emulation. The way they're implementing it, and if you look at the list of games, and they're projecting by the time the patch hits, there's going to be about 100 games on there. But the games that are on the list right now, most of them are download titles. Alien Hominid HD. I mean, Geometry Wars. Really? Why aren't these openly available as it is now?
It shouldn't. You have one job, Microsoft.
And a lot of it's first-party support. But I understand why. And here's the biggest problem that a lot of people are forgetting about the backwards compatibility, and this has been brought up by quite a few people within like the gaming industry stuff, and why it's a big question. It's not that it's a bad move. It's a lot of these games that they have that a lot of people are going to want to play. When you put them on a new system, because you're emulating... Well, first off, there's a bunch of issues with this anyway. So you're asking third parties who probably don't even have the rights to these games that they made anymore to produce patches or downloadable versions of a game that they don't have the rights to touch. So anything like... I'm just going to use the Ghostbusters game as a prime example.
Okay.
The company that released that, Atari doesn't even have it anymore.
Who does?
I don't know. That license is floating around. There was a downloadable title after it, but it was originally Activision and then it was Atari, and I don't know who's got it now. So, unless they can get a hold of the 3 or 4 companies that own that stock, you'll never see a patch for that. Then you have the other problem of the games that 90% of the 360 library is online, or has online capabilities, and a lot of those servers are not active anymore.
Yeah.
So, and even then, now you run into another problem, which is the Xbox One doesn't send the same signal as the 360. And if you're emulating the 360, then when you try to connect to your online capabilities online through a 360 game, it's going to register that you're not on a compatible system. So it's going to tell you can't get online unless they fix the parameters and change out the hard locks. But
it's going to be a one giant we'll see.
Yeah, it's
a big clusterfuck.
And the other real big question mark is patches. This last generation was the first generation to heavily feature patches. And because it's not, the way it works, and for those of you that don't know, it's not reading the game off the disc. You put the disc in the system checks the network, the system downloads the game from the network. Ugh. Doesn't play it off the disc. That in itself is a problem, but but you're patching software that's running off software. So, and anybody that will remember the 360 debacle, every time that emulator patched for the original Xbox, something came off that list because something didn't work now. And they never added them back. It's a good move. It's a great move.
It's just
but
gonna be done
let's see how it plays out. I have a feeling this could blow up. And everybody that's saying that this is going to, that Sony is this, that, and the other, Sony can't do backwards compatibility from the 4 to the 3 because the cell processor is a whole different beast from the architecture that they're running now.
See, I don't know anything about that. So it just, in my mind, it doesn't make sense.
So Sony is doing the PlayStation Now, which is basically GameFly, and while there's not a lot on there now, they're talking about having their entire PS1, PS2, and PS3 back catalog on there. And what it is you pay, right now they're testing it at $15. They're probably going to go down to $10. But it's $10 a month, and you basically stream a game to your PS4 from their back catalog.
That's not a bad idea, but...
You're paying more money for a service, I get it.
Well, that and...
But they have a... But
in the field we're in... I need to physically own the fucking game. I need to hold it. I need to be able to stroke it.
But it is still...
I need to be able to cuddle with it and not when I'm by my fucking self.
But I will give Sony props. They have a big enough back catalog that the $10 to $15 price range actually isn't bad.
It's not. I'm not going to say it isn't. But
But they can't do backward. They could probably do backwards compatibility for the one.
We'll see.
For the PS1, because that's a simple one. The PS2, maybe. The PS3, I'm sorry, your cell processor is, again, you're on a totally different architecture machine. So
I don't know how it works. That's above me, so I don't know how it works.
So,
but yeah, that was.
Did Microsoft say anything? Have anything else besides
the Gears of War?
Gears of War, Halo, backwards compatibility.
I didn't really see as much of it. I just know the things that I was worried about and caught my attention, basically. So
yeah,
nothing.
And for all of you that are going to get in the comments and be like, you just hate backwards compatibility, you hate Microsoft. No, I think Microsoft backwards compatibility is a brilliant thing. I just want to see how they do it. Because I remember how it was on the 360, and I know all of the issues. Anyone that's ever modded a PC game will tell you why what they're doing can run into a buttload of problems.
That was the other thing. We're going to backtrack here for a second.
Oh yeah, the mods on the
yes,
the mods on the Xbox One, which I almost guarantee you Sony's going to do the same thing at some point.
It makes me happy. Granted, the thing is, when I play with mods in like Fallout or Elder Scrolls or anything like that, the game gets fucked up weird. Yeah. Like Randy Savage dragons, and sombreros every fucking where, and nudity, of course, but.
Well, and mods are pretty much where it's at, but it's going to be interesting to see how they implement it. Again, this is the same thing with backwards compatibility. It's all in how it gets implemented because mods conflict with mods, and not all mods are good. And I have some weird feeling Microsoft's going to find a way to charge for it.
I don't want to think
just
yeah.
And it's not that I don't like the idea of what they're doing. They announced some really big stuff, and they needed something because they're like way behind in the market right now.
That's pathetic.
But they have like no overseas support at all, but from anybody.
That is what it is.